All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fourth edition of Cypress Live. This event will be recorded and placed on the Owners Network for later review. If you have any questions or comments, please use the chat feature. We'll be monitoring that, and we will answer as we go. Our vendor spotlight today is going to be with Zonte, and our guest from Zonte is Matt Pretty, and Matt's going to review Mark Pretty, and Mark is going to review some of the new features and services that are available on the Zonte envelope press. I know several of you have the Zonte envelope press or have looked at it in the past as a new profit center, and Zonte has made a lot of changes over the past few months and added a lot of features to that device. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the presentation over to Mark right now.
Thanks, Jay. Good morning, everyone. You should be able to see my screen currently. Jay, can you guys see it on your end, just to confirm?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Perfect. Okay, so good morning. Like Jay said, my name is Mark Preedy. I'm the Vice President of Sales for the Americas for Zonte. We, in my modest opinion, manufacture the best envelope printer in the market today. And not only does this device do envelopes, but it's also great for letterhead, business cards, brochures, NCR paper, a variety of different medias. And of those of you that have not seen it, I encourage you to get in touch with us, and I'll give you my email address when we're done, and we'll be more than happy to set up a live demo for you to show you how the device works. You can send some sample files. We'll do those for you. We'll do job costing, all kinds of different stuff. So whatever you need from us to help you make a great buying decision, we'll do that. So I've got a relatively short PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to go through, and then at the end, I'll be more than happy to open it up to any questions that you guys have about the device, about Zonte, about the IQ software that actually runs it, and we'll touch on that briefly as well. So first slide is just kind of a picture of the different products that we currently sell. The Impressia is the device in the middle. The Enterprise Feeder is what you see on the far right-hand side. The bottom right side, where my cursor is the Illumina HWC. That's our heavyweight device for thicker media, up to 24 point, and then the larger device in the upper left-hand corner is the Accelergraphics 4200, and that is a corrugated box printer. But what we're going to concentrate our attention on today is going to be on the Impressia. So as we go to slide 2, just to kind of give you a brief history of Zonte, we are a worldwide company. We have offices in 3 different locations. Mobile, Alabama is where our headquarters are, and we've got about 120 employees here in Mobile. We have an office in the Netherlands, and that Netherlands office, what it does is it handles all our sales in Europe and Africa. We've got a small office in Sacramento where we support one of our older products, a company that we bought called Rip It. And we support the Symphony software out of that office, and then all our manufacturing operations is done here in Mobile. There's the Impressia, and what we tout in regards to the Impressia is we can print a full-color envelope, number 10, typically for a penny or less. And just to kind of give you an idea of what the market will bear for full-color envelopes, typically you can sell 1,000 full-color envelopes for somewhere between $180 and $220, depending on where you are in the country. It costs me less than $10 to produce it on this device. If I include my media cost, I'm somewhere around $25. So if I'm selling it at $180 minus $25, I am at $155. So in about 20 minutes that it takes to print it, I can make $155 off this device. So it doesn't take a whole lot of jobs per month to have your ROI or your return on investment on this particular device. Typically it leases, if you lease it, somewhere in the $360 range, so about 2,500 envelopes a month covers your lease payment on it. If you're not printing 2,500 envelopes a month, then you really aren't printing envelopes. Uh, here's what it does. It cut costs and improves productivity. We can do envelope sizes anywhere from a 4-bar, and a 4-bar is the small envelope that's 3 5/8 by 5 1/8, up to a 10 by 13 catalog size envelope. Allows you to print on a wide variety of media. And I mentioned letterhead and business cards and NCR forms. At its maximum speed, it'll do 78 full-color envelopes per minute. Conservatively, I tell folks we can do about 3,500 envelopes per hour. It's a very low cost per sheet. Like I said, we typically do a typical number 10 envelope for a penny or less. So we're reducing your production costs and allowing you to increase your profit margins. Through the IQ software, I can also do my variable data printing or addressing on an envelope in a single pass. So I can print that full color envelope and do my addressing for that customer all in a single pass. Typically, most customers, when they add variable data, they can add about a nickel to that job. So if I'm charging, let's say, $190 to print a full color envelope for $1,000, if I end up doing the variable data, I can at that point charge $240 for that job. So it's an additional $50 for something that takes me tenths of a penny to produce, because there's not a whole lot of cost in putting a monochrome address on an envelope. The other thing that's going to be coming out we're hoping on Halloween Day, is IQ12. IQ12 is going to have a number of different things added to it. The first thing is going to be CAS certification with pre-sort. So you'll be able to put in a mail list, have that certified. The IMB code will be attached. That's going to be a free service through IQ until 2019. Come 2019, it's probably going to run about $700 for that service. Also pre-sorts your envelopes, does all your labels for your trays, and all your documentation that you need for the U.S. Postal Service. And then coming either late December, early January is going to be the national change of address. So that'll be part of that as well. We also currently have a number of templates that we're including in IQ. There's hundreds of them, everything from wedding invitations to birth announcements to graduation invitations, stationery, business cards, NCR forms. So if you don't have a graphic artist, you can use these templates, show them to your customers, and say, hey, which one of these do you want to use for your Christmas card? And you just go in and put the information, and you can print these on demand for your customer. So those are a couple of the things that are coming out in IQ 12. The great thing about IQ is any customer who currently has IQ gets any update or any upgrade of IQ at no charge. It's also a multi-user license, so if you have multiple people in your shop, you want them to have access to it, they can all have access to IQ again at no additional charge for that. It's great for NCR paper, like I mentioned, and the engine is based on Ricoh image technology, so it's a great engine with great image quality. Here's just a little information on the Impressia itself. The output conveyor, which sits here on the top of the device, will hold up to 500 envelopes or a box of envelopes. It is a true Adobe PostScript RIP internal to the device. IQ that runs it is just a workflow software. It's not a RIP, it's a workflow software. And like I said, we'll get into that here in a minute of all the things that I can do. The Enterprise feeder, which is our patented feeder that sits on there, allows you to hold up to 1,000 envelopes, and I can load them on the fly. So it's a production device. I'm never down with it. I simply move that back brace back from the envelopes and put additional envelopes in there. It's 2400 DPI, so it gives you amazing color. It is a full color, 4-color process, and like we said earlier, 78 number 10s a minute. If I'm running if I'm running letterhead, that's 50 pages per minute, and it's laser safe output. So if you give it to your customer, you have no worries for them running it through another laser printer and having it crack, chip, ghost, or do any of that other nasty stuff that happens on some of your production units. There's also a storage unit in the stand that comes with it. So I can load my toner or put my envelopes or media in there. It does come with these casters, so I can roll it and put it anywhere in my shop I want to. And as you see it in this picture is how it comes. So it comes with the stand, the feeder, the printer, and the conveyor system. Like we said, it supports a wide variety of media. The output conveyor, like we said earlier, will do up to 500 sheets. It does come standard with auto duplex up to 11 by 17, and that can be either done out of tray 2 or out of the multi-purpose tray. That multi-purpose tray will hold up to 3.5 by 5 1/8, which is that 4-bar size, and do up to a 12 by 49.5 inch banner sheet of paper and anything in between. It does come with 2 trays. The first tray is letter size, and it'll hold 550 sheets. The bottom tray is up to tabloid or 11 by 17, again 550 sheets there, and we can print up to 14-point stock, so about 350 GSM is what's supported on this particular device. So you can see you can do a lot of different things, a lot of different sizes on this machine. The Enterprise Feeder, like I said, is our patented technology. It makes your life extremely simple in having to load envelopes. I can load 1,000 of them on there and just let them go. This thing runs flawlessly, doesn't jam. You can change media in seconds. I can load it on the fly, and this is where I would lay my banners down as well. So if I'm doing any banner printing, I'm going to lay my banners down here, and I'm going to let them go through the multi-purpose tray here on the side of the printer. The SL feeder is actually a second feeder that we sell with this device. It works exactly like the Enterprise. The only difference is this one holds 500 envelopes as opposed to 1,000, and you can put it on the tabletop. So if you're space restricted, the Enterprise SL feeder is a great option because I go from about an 8-foot footprint to about a 4.5-foot footprint. And I can put the SL and the printer on my own table, again, saving me space. And again, I can load up to 500 envelopes on this on the fly, and it's continuous load as well. IQ, like I said, is our powerful workflow software. There's a number of different things that I can do within IQ. We have our patented spot color matching, and with this device and IQ, any color I can build in CMYK, I can hit dead on 100% of the time, every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I do have independent control CMYK. I can adjust the densities of each of those colors or the entire image. I have full imposition, so my image is not on that media exactly where I want it. Through our imposition section, I can move it and put it exactly where I want it on there. We also have a tiling option. So if I'm doing a banner, and let's say that banner is 24 by 36, we have a tiling option within imposition to be able to print that on a 12 by 36, 2 sheets, and tile it together. We can import variable data and images. It does have a job costing estimator, and that job costing estimator is dead on. It gives you the cost of your job every time that job is dropped into IQ. So I can click on it, go to job cost, put the number that I want to print, and it tells me at that point exactly what it's costing me to print those. Dual screening options allows me to go in and adjust both images and spot colors. Like I said earlier, it's a multi-user workflow, so however many folks you need to use it, they can go in and use IQ. Spot color creation, what that allows me to do is not only have the ability to manage my spot colors, but I can also manage an image. And a lot of times your customers will walk into your shop with an image and want you to go in and change the color, or you have to adjust the color of that image. Well, what I can do with Spot Color Creator is actually draw a box around that image and click on it, and it'll convert that image into a spot color, and I can go in and manage my color there just as if it was a spot color. It does come complete with a Pantone color library. So any Pantone color, again, that I can hit in CMYK, I can hit on this device 100% of the time. Sequential numbering or multi-part forms is also part of the IQ software. So if I'm doing invoices, I can go in there and number those invoices or postcards or whatever it may be. And I know for a lot of you, doing numbering is a pain in the butt. We make it extremely simple and very easy to use. What's really nice about IQ is I can train anyone in about 45 minutes on how to use the software and start producing jobs off this device and making money. And then lastly, I can also archive jobs in there. So it'll hold the jobs for me. So if I've got a job that I do over and over again for a customer, I can profile that job within IQ, archive it. The next time it comes in, I just put the number of colors, the number of copies I want to print, and drag and drop that job to the printer. Like I said earlier, we talked about the spot color matching. In this particular job here, we've got one spot color, and it's that maroon. If it's not quite right, I can click that over, print a swatch page, select the color that I want. That swatch page is going to give me 105 different shades of that maroon that I printed. Make the change, apply it, and I'm done. So within seconds, I can go in and match my spot colors very simple and very accurately. I can also customize colors. I can put those in my Pantone library. So amazing software, spot color matching in our software. It's very, very simple. Love to show it to you in doing a WebEx or web demo, have you send some files and show you exactly how it works and what we can do with it. Like I said, I have full independent control CMYK. Not only can I do it for my spot colors, but I can also do it for my images. I can come in and mess with my standard halftones. I can adjust my dot shape. I can adjust my LPI, and I can also go in and change my angle set. So depending on the color that I'm printing, a certain angle the way that dot is sitting will give me the best print. And we give you the ability to go in and select the correct dot size and the correct dot to give you that print that's perfect for your customers. Again, variable data at full speed. It doesn't slow down. I can come in, load my blank envelopes, do my logo, merge my variable data within IQ, send that job to the printer, and in a single pass, I'm going to do my variable data as well as my logo, all at full speed. I can do barcodes on there, so I've got a number of different barcodes that we can generate. So if you need to put a barcode on an envelope, on a postcard, QR code, whatever it may be, we're able to do that. We're also able to do the intelligent mail barcode. So if you're doing a mailing, you want to get the postal discount and you want to put the IMB on there, all that can be done directly through IQ. Like I said, it does have an accurate job cost, so to help you improve profits, so you know exactly what it's costing you to print, and then you can charge your customers accordingly. You can also print the job cost sheet. You can export it into a CSV file, so you can keep those, look at it at the end of the month, see how much I spent on the machine versus what I charge for my jobs, so I can see how great my profit margin is on this device. When it calculates the job cost, it takes into account all the consumables, not just the toner. So we're including the job cost for the toner, the drums, the transfer belt, and the fuser, which are all the consumables. I can also go in, if I know my media cost, and include that in IQ in the job cost, so it'll give me a correct job cost, including my media. Or if I have any additional costs, whether I want to put labor or power or whatever it may be, I've got another spot where I can do that, again, to include that in my job cost, so I know exactly for every job that I print what it's costing me, and then I can, again, charge my customers accordingly based on what the job costs. This also helps if I got a production unit, and let's say I've got a 5-cent charge, click charge on my production unit. I drop it into IQ, and it says it's going to cost me 3 cents to print this on the Impressia. Well, then I want to print it on the Impressia because it will cost me less than that click charge. If I drop it in the IQ, and it says it's going to cost me 9 cents to print, then I want to do that on my production press that's costing me, 5 cents or 4.5 cents, whatever your click charge may be, because now it's costing me less to do that production on my production press because it's less than the Impressia. So with this device, you have the best of both worlds. It's a perfect unit to sit right next to that production press because that production press has problems doing really 3 different things. Number 1, printing envelopes. Number 2, printing NCR forms. And number 3, giving you laser-safe letterhead. So with this device, I can take those things off my production press, put them on the Impressia, get my ROI on this device very, very quickly, turn them around on demand. It's perfect for short run. So we're going to save you time, and we're going to make you money with this device. Just kind of a recap, it's an affordable digital solution. For the device complete as you see it, it's $16,000. That includes software. That includes the stand, the feeder, the printer, and the conveyor. We can do accurate color matching, so we're consistent on every job we print. The enterprise feeder is for long, uninterrupted printing with very few jams, if any jams ever. It's fast and easy. Your make-ready on a job is typically 1 or 2 envelopes. And then there's some great added value with IQ add-ons with variable data, variable barcode, variable images, the templates, the CAS certification with pre-sort. All that is part of the bundle, that $16,000 bundle that allows you, again, to leave that job at the printer instead of having to send it back to a graphic artist, or even worse, send it back to your customer and have them have to redo the color or move that image on that media. So this is a true production press. Everything, any correction you need to make on any job can be done in IQ very simply, very quickly at the press itself. So you keep it going. If it's printing, you're making money and we're making money. So everybody's happy when that thing is working. And that is my 20-minute presentation on the Impressia. Again, it was very quick, got right to the point. Be more than happy to answer any questions, or at a later date do a WebEx or a web demo on the device or the software. Let me give you my email address. My email address, if you want to set up a WebEx or a web demo or send me a file to print to cost out for you, is M as in Mark, P as in Paul, R as in Roger, I as in iced, E as in Echo, D as in Delta, E as in Echo, at Xante, XANTE.com. You can reach me in my email anytime you like. I'd be more than happy to talk to any of you about the product further, about the software further. It is a money-making beast, and if you don't have it, you really should consider it. I've got a number of customers out there with over 3 million impressions on their device already, and we've calculated that they've made at least 10 cents per sheet. So on a $16,000 investment, they made well over $300,000 in less than 3 years. And anyone who could tell me that I can give them $16,000 and in 3 years they're going to turn around and give me $300,000, I'd ask them how many $16,000 investments can I give to them to be able to do that. So I'll shut up now, and I'll be more than happy to take any questions that anyone has about the device.
Well, thanks, Mark. Can you tell us a little bit more about the CAS certification and NCOA? You said that's going to be
Sure.
available at the end of this month, and it'll be free through 2019?
That is correct. So CAS certification, we'll start charging 2019 for it. But through CAS certification, you'll be able to take your mailing list, opt for CAS certification, and what it does is it'll go into a cloud, and that cloud's based here in our office. It'll go through the Postal Service. The Postal Service will go through and certify that list to make sure the addresses are correct. If that list is correct, it'll at that point attach the IMB, or the Intelligent Mail Barcode. If it's incorrect, then those names will go to the back of the list, and I can go and either put a stamp on those and mail them at the regular postal rate, or go in and make the change and recertify that list. What's really nice about our CAS certification is we are not charging the customer a penny for certifying the list. So most mailing softwares charge a click charge based on the number of names you put through the certification. We don't do that, and the reason we don't do that is we want you to use our device to print on. If you're printing on our device, you're making money and you're buying consumables from us, so I'm making money as well. The CAS certification, it also provides you with all the documentation and the labels you need for your trays to take to the U.S. Postal Service. The national change of address is going to be available either late December or early January, and that will automatically, if there's an address in your in your list that you're trying to certify, and that customer has changed addresses, it will automatically go in and make that change and give you the new address automatically, so you don't have to worry about putting a yellow sticker on it or going in and making that change. So that's coming. So we're really, really excited about CAS certification being an IQ. We were at SGIA in New Orleans last week, showed CAS certification in our beta version. Our customers loved it. They're extremely excited about it as well.
Oh, yeah, that could be a big money saver for the folks that already are paying a mail software company for mail processing.
Absolutely, because most of the ones that we've seen run anywhere between $1,500 and $2,500. Plus, there's a click, whether it's a half a cent or a tenth of a cent for each address that goes through. Ours in 2019, like I said, is going to be around $700, and we will never ever charge a click. We want our customers to use our product and our device. The way we make money is if they print, they're buying consumables, and it's a win-win for everybody.
So will that be a flat $700 per year, or billed monthly? Do you guys know that yet?
We actually haven't gotten to that point yet. I believe we're going to give the option of either way, that it'll be, I don't think it'll be monthly. It'll probably be quarterly or a flat 700 at the time of renewal.
All right.
And again, if customers opt out and say, hey, I don't do mailing, I don't want CAS, then they'll get all the features of IQ that they currently get. They just won't have CAS as part of IQ.
Okay. And you had mentioned that existing IQ owners will be able to upgrade. How does that work? How do they go out and get their upgrades?
Yep, so what will happen is when we do an upgrade, we actually will turn it on to all the folks that are currently IQ users, and there'll be a window that will pop up in IQ when they open it, as long as they're connected to the internet. It'll pop up and say, hey, do you want to download to version 12.0? And they have a button that says either yes or no. I highly recommend anytime that box pops up to select yes. We've either added a new feature, or we found a small bug in it and we made a change or fixed the bug. So anytime you see that up, I highly recommend that you do it. So there's nothing that they have to do specifically other than when they open IQ, look for that box. When that box pops up in the middle of the screen, just say yes, and it'll automatically download for them. They'll keep all their jobs. Simply all it's doing is upgrading the version.
All right. And what about the library, too? That'll automatically upload to your current customers?
That is correct. The templates, that was a thing that I mentioned earlier, that in IQ 12, currently you have to go on our website and download the templates and then place them into IQ. With IQ 12, there'll be a button for templates. You click on it. It'll give you 7 or 8 different packages that you can choose from. You simply click on the package, and those will download into IQ automatically. You know, if you make any kind of color change, or you do a customized color, that will automatically populate into the Pantone library as well. So it's very, very automated, extremely simple to use. Like I said, in 45 minutes, I can have anyone an expert in IQ.
All right. Very good. We've asked that if there were any questions to type them in the chat room, and I don't see any right now. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But, Mark, I do want to thank you for being on the call and sharing information on the new gear. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you guys so much. And again, if anyone has any questions, would like a live demo, we'd be more than happy to do that. Just shoot me an email to my email address, and we'll set that up for you.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about was inkjet. Last week I had the opportunity to attend the Think event sponsored by Canon in Florida. Think is the premier conference for inkjet technology, and while hosted by Canon, it's actually a board that's made up of commercial print center owners and plant managers. It was a great event. I learned a lot, and it's probably the best place to learn about the future of inkjet technology. So what did I learn? Well, basically, inkjet technology is not a fad. It's coming, and it will eventually replace toner, because it's going to be cheaper and easier to maintain. So here are some of the pros and cons. The pros with inkjet is the uptime. The inkjet owners and operators that I spoke with at the show were touting 95 to 97% uptime compared to their toner devices that they were averaging 60 to 70% of uptime. Another thing that the uptime allows is scheduled maintenance. So that's another pro. They were actually able to schedule service calls with their technicians as opposed to just having the technician perform maintenance when they come out to fix the machine. They actually can work jobs around it have the set hour through the day or the week that the tech's going to come in, that they know that the machine will be down. And when's the last time you've ever been able to do that with your toner device? Another thing, the speeds on these machines are just incredible. We were looking at the VarioPrint i300 from Canon. The speed on that machine is 294 8.5 by 11 images per minute. So that thing is just screaming and doing the output. The volume on that is 8,820 duplex color sheets per hour. So again, the speed and volume of the inkjet is just night and day compared to your toner devices. Another plus is the operator skills that are required for these inkjet machines. Virtually, you just have somebody that's putting paper in and pulling paper out of the machine. Most of the skill set is done on the front end, and really the operator is just pushing jobs through the queue, putting paper in, taking paper out. Several of the people that I spoke with were able to reduce their labor staff and by getting rid of some of their toner-based machines and adding the inkjet unit, because really you don't need a skilled operator to drive these machines. Then, of course, one of the big pros with the inkjet unit is the ink cost. Ink is much less than the toner, and since you buy the ink, low coverage jobs are actually less expensive. So if you've got some spot color jobs, those are going to come in much less expensive than anything with full coverage, and there's software with the equipment that'll help you do your job costing on that. So you've got a lot of pros with inkjet, but we've also got some cons, and this is why I think that we're not quite ready there for most of our locations to move into inkjet. Number one, the quality is still not there. It's not as good as toner or inkjet. Yes, it's sellable to probably most of your customers, but not all. It's getting better, though. The people I was speaking with that had the VarioPrint i300 said that each time that Canon releases a new set of inks, the quality gets better. So I think they're on version 3.0, and they're getting ready to release their next set of improved inks. So hopefully the quality will get even better. But right now, there is a noticeable difference between what you're getting off the inkjet and what you're going to get off of a toner or an offset print. Another drawback is the paper. There's actually still not a lot of papers available for these machines, and some of the inkjet paper can be very expensive. Was talking with a couple of paper vendors there. They are working with Canon and the other inkjet manufacturers, inkjet press manufacturers, to approve more paper all the time. So it's coming, but there are still not a lot of papers out there that you can get, and again, some of them are fairly expensive. And then probably the biggest drawback right now is the cost of the equipment. The cut sheet device that I saw was approximately $1 million in cost, and it's big. It's got a huge footprint, 10 foot by 30 foot by 8 feet tall, and then once you add the feeders and finishers on it, it's going to be even bigger. So space is going to be an issue for most people, and obviously the cost. But the prices are coming down. That particular unit, they've already released a slightly slowed down version, the i200, that's coming in at $750,000. Still, that's a ton of overhead, but the prices are going to be coming down on that as well. So my conclusion from the event last week is that inkjet is coming, but it's not quite there yet. So we still have some time to plan our strategies and look for vendor partners, so we will be ready when the time is right. I think this is something we've definitely got to keep an eye out but I think it's going to probably be 3, 4, 5 years before these devices get in our price range and the quality gets to be where we need it to be to make sense. If anybody has any questions or like to discuss inkjet, please give me a call. Really enjoyed the event last week and be happy to share any of my insights with you. Next thing I wanted to talk about, for those of you that were at conference, Fellers attended this year, and they were also a sponsor, helped sponsor our awards dinner. And we've been working with them, and they've recently put together a nice wide format package for us. And we'll be publishing this in the next update with all the specific information. But basically, for those of you who are looking to upgrade your wide format equipment, or those who are looking to get into wide format for the first time, you might want to take a look at this package because it basically has everything that you need to get started. It's got a Muto ValueJet printer, and yes, this is a eco-solvent printer, so it's good for indoor or outdoor. It'll include a 65-inch seal laminator, and then also the Muto Value Cut cutter. It comes with some rolls of startup material, some various rolls of supplies, and in-house training, and it's a complete package for $21,000. That retails for about $36,000, so they've come down off their pricing pretty drastically. In fact, you could almost say that you're buying the wide format device and the cutter, and they're throwing in the laminator for free. So we'll have more information on the Fellers package coming out soon. Again, this week in the update. If you have any questions, please give me a call. And that's all I've got for this presentation. If anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to discuss, now's the time. You can go ahead and type that into the chat line, and we'd be happy to address it. So I'll give just a few moments in case anybody has any questions. All right. Well, I don't see any questions coming in right now. So in closing, I know we've had a few changes since the last conference call, but I do want you to know that we are here to help you. So if you have any questions or issues, please give us a call and let us work with you to find some solutions. With that said, if there are no other questions, I'll go ahead and end the call. Thank you, and we will have this posted on the ONET soon. Thank you.